Alright peeps, welcome to my top games, my top 10 games of the last 12 months that I've seen on the channel. Now, before I start, I just want to say welcome to the channel. Thank you to any newcomers here and to my subscribers. Now, some honourable mentions first, because they are technically outside of the full year, which are SnowRunner, an amazing game, SnowRunner, where you're saving areas that have had natural disasters by driving different vehicles. It really is like truck pornography. It really is, as you blast these big engines around to try and fix the different areas that you're in. It really is great, and still getting great updates to the game and really good. Another honourable mention is the Outer Worlds, which is amazing game. RPG, a bit like Fallout in a new kind of universe, and really interesting. The playthrough I did a video, I was playing it on hard mode, which makes the game so much more intense. If you want a game less story mode but kind of hardcore mode with story, then play it in hard. You'll see how hard it was when I played it. Super dangerous, but yeah, super cool. I can't wait for Outer Worlds 2, and the E3 trailer this year was so good. I had to put a trailer on my channel of it because it was like the best trailer of E3 this year. Another honourable mention goes to Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire, which is an incredible RPG, and oh, it's so good. You're like a pirate, pirating round, taking on ships bigger than your own, blowing them up, going to different islands, going into dungeons, whilst following a interesting storyline that takes you to massive cities and all this stuff. Really is kind of the top tier RPGs that you can play on the PC. Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire, incredible. Finally, an honourable mention to World of Warcraft, which is a super fantastic MMO, which has the latest version of it, has an amazing new player welcome, and it really is spectacular. If you've never played WoW, I have a video on my channel for newcomers that you can check out, and I'll tell you exactly why it's so good. But I had to put this as an honourable mention because technically speaking, WoW, I don't see it as a normal game. The MMOs are so big and grandiose that in their own right, they are something incredibly special. But MMO, my favourite, World of Warcraft. Now, let's get to the list. So, number 10. Well, number 10, Spacebourne. And the reason this is in the number 10 spot is because I'm a Star Citizen backer from the original Kickstarter, and I love Star Citizen. I love all the updates, can't wait for all the updates when they come out. And for all those people that say Star Citizen is super late, it's a fraud, promises not made, etc., all this hate that Star Citizen gets, well, if you didn't want Star Citizen to be so ambitiously, to be like the most ambitious video game ever made, and to be almost the biggest video game ever made, then you would have got Spacebourne, which is almost the promise of the original Kickstarter of Star Citizen, without getting gazillion dollars to actually expand the scope of the game, which is what Star Citizen did. Spacebourne is an indie title, stuck to its guns because it had a small budget, small team. But Spacebourne is a fantastic space game where you venture around and follow an interesting storyline whilst upgrading your ship, taking on pirates, taking bounties out for really dangerous pirates. It is really good. Some fantastic space combat, some interesting visits to planets, and very nice that you get your own space station that you can upgrade, and it really is a fascinating experience, Spacebourne. So if you want that kind of Star Citizen without its ambition, Spacebourne is the game. And even though it doesn't have the ambition of Star Citizen. It still is an incredible experience, and if you're waiting for Star Citizen, Spacebourne is a wonderful, wonderful game to play whilst waiting for it. So good. Now next, number 9. Carrion! This indie title blew me away. It's so good. I mean, you're best off playing this game not knowing too much about it, and I don't spoil it in my video, but essentially you are a guy in a lab where there's a lab accident and you become a monster and you have to escape. And what's wonderful about it is you have to escape the lab as a monster, and everybody, you can scare people, kill people in so many unique ways, move around like an absolute boss, and it's phenomenal as you grow and evolve through the game, get different abilities Metroid-like, so you can open new areas and etc. But it's such a fascinating exploration game going around to escape as the monster. And I love the way the NPCs react to you even entering the room, because they know how dangerous you are. And really cool game, and I can't wait to see what that team brings next. Carrion, my number 9, a wonderful indie game, which is just so much fun. You playing the monster. It really is super cool. Love it. Now, number 8. Hotshot Racing. Oh my goodness. If I want a quick racing fix, Hotshot Racing is my number 1 game. To put it simply, the gameplay feels like I'm playing Ridge Racer in the arcade games from the 90s. It was one of the reasons I got a PlayStation 1 was Ridge Racer. And I get that same kind of drift feel that I get in Carrion, and in my video you got to see some amazing drift round corner action with my favourite car, which is almost gives you the Ridge Racer kind of feel. But the tracks are super fun to race, super intense, high voltage energy. You just feel so wonderful skirting around these corners, getting those wins, and and in the cup as well. If you replay the cup, you really need to be kind of perfect in the race. It's so good, and the devs are still bringing out new content, which makes Hotshot Racing really, really cool. I love the fact that the game is still got more legs to play, and it doesn't matter whatever console you play, this would be phenomenal. And in fact, the next, the handheld console from Steam, the Steam, what's it called? That thing? Editor? Put it up here, that thing. The Hotshot Racing would be wonderful to play on the go. Really would be, because the 60 frames a second is fabulous, but 120 frames that you can get from this game, incredible. Alright, on to my number 7. XCOM 2 War of the Chosen. Oh my god, if you like board games, you're going to love this game. Strategic, but when you're going to fire your gun, it's like you're rolling the dice, so you are potentially going to miss your shots. It feels wonderful. I love the fact you can set up all your team in Overwatch, so you kind of ambushing the enemy. It's great. And the War of the Chosen expansion brings so much cinematicness to the game that it feels like you are in this massive movie and you're playing the heroes of the movie, where the world has been overtaken by aliens and you are the resistance trying to bring it down. It is phenomenal what they've done to the original XCOM 2, and I would not even recommend playing XCOM 2 over War of the Chosen. I go straight to the War of the Chosen because it puts you really into the cinematic boots of what XCOM 2 should have been, and gives you this premier experience that really should have been there if the devs left XCOM 2 in the oven longer. But I think War of the Chosen is what the devs originally intended XCOM 2 to be, so you're playing like the perfect version of the game, and oh my god, so good, peeps. So good, you got to play this one. On to my number 6. Well, this is a Kickstarter game, Solasta, Crown of the Magister, and I must have played this every night, way into the middle of the night, every night. It was so good, Solasta. It's an RPG where it's trying to innovate and do original things. I really enjoy the role-playing experience that I had with the game. I love the kind of Mass Effects feel of it, how your characters are talking. It is really good. You might say Dragon Age, I guess, but it made me feel more of, I guess, Mass Effect, as that's kind of more in my memory, as that's my favourite game of all time. Dragon Age, not in my top 10 of all time, you know, but the way that your characters are involved in the story is really kind of cool, and I love going in all the dungeons. I love the strategy of the fighting and all that stuff. It was a fantastic RPG adventure, and props to the team that did it. And oh man, Solasta, Crown of the Magister, and I really hope we do see a sequel of sorts from the dev team, hopefully spending more time to actually design the game instead of designing the technology behind what they did in Solasta, but build on everything that they did in Crown of the Magister. And oh my god, it's such a good game. You owe it to yourself to play this game if you're an RPG fan. Right, number 5. Biomutant, the open world crazy game. So it's so quirky, the world, but it looks amazing. Such fun to be had in this open world with so many distraction points and so much beauty in the world. Fantastic. And for me, I played a mage, so it was like the first open world mage game that I've played, and it was so much fun building in magic power and firing electricity from my hands and bringing meteors, dark meteors down to blow up a ship in one hit. Just feel the power of my character's growth in Biomutant. But it was like a stunning open world experience for me. I did a full playthrough series where I edited down all the fun I had, and yeah, it was such a good game. Kind of got panned in the critics, but I just think they were trying to rush the game by doing the main storyline, and I think the best way to enjoy an open world game is to avoid the story as much as you can, because the open world should be tempting you to do stuff, and I think Biomutant was doing loads of interesting stuff that I didn't play the storyline until pretty much the late versions of my walkthrough. But I had a ball of fun, absolutely. That's why I said my number 5. And I played it for like a long time. So it was like a 2-week experience in the open world. So yeah, super cool. Number 4, Detroit Become Human. Oh my god, this game! First of all, it's a masterpiece. It really is. Something incredibly special. And Quantum Dream's best game they've ever played, bar none. This is so good. It brings you so close to the story, playing 3 different characters, all having an interesting story as it goes through, with so many different choices that can be played in the playthroughs, with 2 dramatically different endings also. In fact, there's like 6 endings, but 2 of them would be really big, like you'll realise when you play it. But an amazing interactive story, and just looks so good. Has that Sony AAA first party polish to it, which makes it spectacular going in, and you know from the beginning, right from the opening, how special the game is, And oh man, you've really got to check Detroit Become Human. What an incredible game. Just one not to miss. Number 3, Per Aspera. Oh my god. This game where you're redesigning Mars, you're colonizing Mars, and as an AI as a satellite looking down and controlling all the bots. This game's so fun as you're designing how to put all the infrastructure down there. It's so spectacular with a really cool storyline, and then you actually are preparing Mars for bringing humans there. And then when the humans come there, you can actually see them like moving from one area to another one in like airships that they've got. And you're producing like food for them and bringing special biomes. There's loads of technology trees that you're trying to investigate to get new technologies, and you're basically trying to terraform Mars. And it is a wonderful journey that you go on. It really is spectacular, and you got to deal with the way you deal with the terraforming by doing loads of scientific things is so incredibly educational, because a lot of the stuff that you're doing to terraform Mars has kind of come from NASA. So you're kind of following almost to the letter of what NASA's plans would be to terraform Mars. And it is so good. And every time you log into each day or whatever your play session is, and you get to see your planet grow over the days, oh dear me, such a fantastic planet making. If you like base building and strategy games, management games, Per Aspera is an absolute dream come true. Number 2. Now, Days Gone. Dear me, they've made the best damn zombie game ever. It is so incredibly special. It has that feeling that the Sony people love their Sony games, because the Sony first party games are so AAA in feel, and spectacular love that's gone in those games. And as soon as you start playing Days Gone, you feel the full weight of that majesty of a first party title from Sony. It hits like a bomb, and oh my god, it's so good. And I love the fact where the map grows again, grows even bigger, and the world just keeps getting bigger. The story keeps getting bigger, and it will absolutely surprise you how big the game gets. But most of all, the fact that it can handle like 300 zombies on screen at any one time. And oh my god, there's a part in the game where you're taking on a sawmill, and it's like a 45-minute boss battle against a huge horde where you're setting traps up everywhere, kiting them around, super high intense. It's fantastic. Oh my god. Days Gone number 2. Oh man, you've got to play this. If you like zombie games, dear me, you've got to play Days Gone. It's so incredibly special. Number 1. Factorio! Oh my god, this game! I'll tell you now, I've been raving about this game since I played it. I can't tell you enough how good this game is. And I frankly believe it wasn't in people's top lists of 2020 because they've not played it. Because it's an indie game, and oh my god, as soon as you start playing this, how simple it is and how much it starts to grow into a massive engine builder. It is like, oh my god, I don't think there's been an engine builder like this on PC, but it's so fascinating. You're a person trying to build a rocket to get off the world, but you're kind of like an elite engineer. It's like you've landed on a planet as Elon Musk and you're trying to get yourself off the planet. It is so good. And what the dev did was, when you're waiting for stuff to build or to get researched, you are going to get attacked by the aliens, and you're going to have to go out there and take down the alien bases and things like that. So your 50% is going to be designing your factory, 50% going to be alien bashing. And it's, the journey you go on is incredible. And if you check out the Facebook group of Factorio, you'll see all the incredible designs people were doing with their factories. And in fact, Elon Musk played Factorio and actually learned a few things about how to plan his Tesla factories. So there is some educational designing going on with Factorio, how things are made. But you will, like I say, start off so small and start to do things that you think are majestically wonderful, and then as things change on the map and you need to do stuff to keep the status quo, you will then get even greater majesty of your design, and you will be loving the fact how big things are starting to get, and then it will become a massive, complex machine where you've got train stations all over the place, bringing materials from places. All those places that you're getting materials from will run out of materials, and then you'll have to build your train line even further, which goes into alien territory, and the journey of your engineer is incredible. It really is. And Factorio will always be one of the most amazing games for me. It goes straight into my number 3 all-time list. And yeah, Factorio, a dream engine building game, and the journey you go on, fascinatingly deep, complex, and wonderful. Oh man, it's an indie title not to ignore. It's a dream game. It really is so special. That is Factorio. Well peeps, these are the best 10 games from the 28 games I've covered on the channel in the last year. Oh my god. Please leave in the comments your top games you've played in the last year. And if you're wondering where Cyberpunk 2077 and other games are, well, I've got an RTX 980 and I can't get a 3000 series card because they're impossible to get, and their prices in here in Mexico are 200% MSRP, so they can kiss my behind and hashtag wait for the 4000 series. And until then, I won't be playing any ray tracing games, but I'll tell you what peeps, I wish I could play those games. But anyway, I've had a fantastic journey on my PC in the last year. These are my top 10 of the year, and I'm really curious to know your top 10 list of the last year, peeps. I know we're not at the end of the year, but with the start of the channel and all that jazz, I am really interested to know what your games are. So thank you so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up, and please hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, as I do a lot of deep dive reviews on my games. And yeah, I really hope I give you a full experience of how amazing these games are, because I can't stand these 5-minute reviews, 10-minute reviews. I really love to see a full fat version of a review, and that's what I promise to be bringing you with all my videos. Of course, any of my subscribers are used to my long videos, and that is my preferred video to watch, and I really hope you enjoy all the content. If you want to put any comments in though about how to update my content going forward, and I certainly won't be making things shorter, so don't think about that. I'll be happy to at least read your comments. So thank you so much for watching. Anyway, you've been listening to PCGamer Radio 102.4. I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy. You take care, stay safe, and bye-bye for now. Well, thanks for watching.
And if you remember, you can please subscribe and like the video. And don't remember, you can also hit the bell for notices on the channel. Yeah, we've also got a Twitter you can see on our banner, so check that out too. So take care and bye-bye.